Hello everybody, welcome back. It is me, your old pal Orpheus, with another edition of Orpheus Plays here in the arena in Blade and Sorcery. We're playing the PC version again today. Kinda awesome, I like this version, although I do like some of the mods that are right now exclusive to the Nomad version on the Quest 2 heads, like the port. But, you know, there's pros and cons to each one, and, you know, depending upon your Wi-Fi in your house and whatever cords you can string on the ceiling or whatever you're doing, it can be cool or not. So, you know. Anyway, hope you're doing well wherever you... That's weird. Hope you're doing well wherever you are right now, whether it's day or night, or you got purple clouds floating above your head, because apparently I'm... What, the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland? Oh wait, no, I forgot. This is a gold hammer, so we'll see what this does. We'll do a little messing around today. Anyway, so it's a good day for murder, and I'm glad that you're joining me to get in on some of that fun. Alright, so today we're going to be playing the Warzone set. Is this thing glowing? It is. I think it's less gravity enchanted, more just radioactive, whatever. So we're playing the Gladiators versus Knights setting today. There's going to be a max of 8 people out on the arena floor, so this can turn into a little bit of a fustercluck, if you know what I'm saying, real quick. So let's get this started. Yeah! So, I don't know. I was reading the other day, and a lot of these lately, I'm like, I'm reading the news because I get a little bored. I've had plenty of time to like read news and stuff since I've been recovering from my appendectomy. First slow motion kill of the day. No? How about for you? How about one for you? We'll do several traditional first slow motion kills of the day with the golden sledgehammer. You still alive? Yes, you are. Oh god, this is quickly turning into a ridiculous mess. Okay, her head exploded. We're still in slow motion. It is okay. Got that thing coming around the outside. Coming around the outside with the golden hammer. Going in the golden hammer into his head. Coming in from behind into the tank. This was a horse race. Alright, you know, we're getting rid of this thing. Turn off the... Alright, there we go. Ha! Oh, jeez, it's also a staff? Alright, we're getting rid of that. That's ridiculous. But, like, oh god, what was I saying? But yeah, no, I've had a lot of time to kind of get into the news because just had a lot of time because I'm recovering from this appendectomy. Okay, so it's just me wading in with a sword. Let's go with this here. Yeah, a little Japanese ninja action here. Come on, take it. Nope. Right there, thank you. And one for you. And so, I saw this story about how mental health is becoming like... They're finding more people with antisocial personality disorder and stuff like that. They're finding more people that have, they're exhibiting behavior that would normally be called, like, sociopath kind of stuff, sociopathy. But, like... It seems like it's just becoming like a societal thing. Like, everyone has a little bit of an issue. Took her down with a cup. Nice. But it seems like everyone's got a little bit of an issue with, like, mental health these days. And I was thinking, like, I'm drawn to games like this, okay? I was drawn to, like, shows like Dexter and just, you know, Game of Thrones and everything. And I think it might be because... All right, so it's no secret. I've gone to therapists a lot of my life, right? Nice. I've gone to therapists a lot in my life. I've been diagnosed with all sorts of things as a result, partially of my brain damage. What? Okay, my brain damage. I have 2 separate, at least, incidences of trauma in my brain. I've got autism. I've got all sorts of stuff going on like that. And so, over the years, I've had this, a problem with What? What did you just do? I've had a problem with, like, exhibiting compassion, right? So, in this game, like, this is funny to me, right? This is hilarious to me. And so, part of it is, do I feel bad about that? Like, am I supposed to say, oh, this isn't right to be beating up all these people, even though they're digital, right? So shouldn't you feel slightly bad for it? Or like, this is going to sound horrible, but like when I see some sort of thing that's going on in the world, it's very difficult for me to feel what they're feeling, right? So if it's like a natural disaster or something, and believe me, I've covered so many natural disasters in my life. Is she still alive up there? I've covered so many natural disasters in my news career. I've covered all sorts of horrible news stories. I sat in, I was the reporter for a news station cluster for a large, like huge media event, murder trial. And through all of it, wow. Through all of it, I've always noticed that it doesn't really impact me emotionally that much, right? It seems like when I was covering the murder trial, it was just very clinical, very cold. I just kind of, facts. I didn't get into, the emotions of the family and what they were feeling and stuff. Here, bro, calm down. Slow down. Slip. We'll just saw until it comes off. Ha! No? What the hell? Anyway, so it's very hard for me to feel those emotions, to look into what that means to people and how it impacts their lives, right? And I've always had difficulty with that. Now this wow, this may be something that you deal with, or you know someone that deals with it. And believe me, it's not like I don't care, right? It's just, it's hard for me to express and feel any emotion attached to it. And so, there we go. Now I found your weakness, bro. And so when it comes to, like, okay, I'll give you a good example. This was less than 2 months into my first radio career job. There was a city council person in the town that I was working in, and it was this really small town, so everyone knew basically everybody. And this city council person got killed in a car wreck, and the news station wanted me to call in and say, do a little live report on the scene. And so I'm like, okay, I can do this, I wasn't scared about it at all. I wasn't feeling like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to. She keeps zapping herself? Nice. But I didn't want to. I didn't really care about like, oh, it's a car accident and you got to go and cover that. So the manager of this station was kind of a weirdo. He was kind of a dick. And he, I was on the phone with him. I'm ready to go on the air. And he says, can you see the body and everything? And I'm like, no. He says, well, get nice and up close. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, now can you see the body? I'm like, yeah. He's like, are you, so it was like, that far away. And I'm like, yeah, I see it. And he goes, well, why don't you get a little closer? I want you to be able to describe things. So I'm like with the cops, like right here, standing with the body. And this was apparently a hazing joke that they had done for years. The first death that you go cover where there's actually a body, they would send the new news person out, and, here, get real close to the body, and it's got to be disgusting. For me, it was just like, okay, it's a piece of meat right there, Like, I don't know. It was just always like, no, I don't really get that, And again, it's not like I didn't feel for the guy's family or anything. It's just, I didn't feel anything when I was looking at it, right? It was really weird. And like another example, very closely connected to that, I had a buddy I went to broadcast college with, and he had a job that was this, talk about ghoulish, right? It was body pickup for a large county where there was a major inner city that was known for 2-for-1 splatter. It was known for kind of, a lot of crime. Ooh, who gets the brain? Who gets the brain? You get the brains. Come here. Oh, master, here's your brain. Slap. And so he did body pickup for this large county, and mostly this like municipal, like inner city area. And so it was basically either the coroner comes, like there's a death, the coroner comes along with the medical examiner, or they're the same thing in a lot of places, and they tell you what's going on, and there you go. And what did I put on this hip? Ooh, Mjolnir. Let's use that. That'll mess things up. Hi! Boom! And so then, after that's done and they've filed all the reports, the guys come to pick up the body. And that's what my friend did as a side job. And so when he did it with his brother, so like they would go and pick up the body, take it to the morgue and all that. And so one day his brother was not available. And so he goes, "Hey, Orpheus, you want to help me out for this for a couple days?" Because his brother was out of town, I guess. And I was like, "Yeah, why not? I'll do that." We had some of the grossest frigging pickups. He said that they were some of the nastiest ones that he's ever seen. And it was stuff like, oh no, there was a guy that he had to weigh at least 400 pounds, maybe a little bit more. And he passed away in his living room. And, really? Ha! He passed away in his living room, and he'd been there for about a week or so before anyone noticed. And so we had to go pick that guy up, and there was 4 of us that were taking him to the van. And we were taking him out the front door, and it was a nice warm day. And the guys that were holding his head, well, the top part of him, it slipped. Like they slipped with the body bag. And he hit the ground. This guy hit the ground and basically made that noise. He, like, basically just... And we saw the body bag, like the top part of it, just kind of go mushy, right? It was no longer the shape of a person. It was like you had the bottom part, and then this, like, it just kind of sloped away. We didn't go and look at what happened, but we kind of assumed that it was, the body kind of exploded a little bit. That was gross. We had a guy that had taken his own life in his garage. And we had to spend about 20 minutes getting parts of him off of the inside of the garage, right? He had he'd made friends with a shotgun. We'll just say it that way. And like, so you're saying, "Oh my God, that's so horrible." Yeah, it is. It's, someone's life is gone, and it was done in a horrible way. And everyone surrounding that situation, family-wise, friend-wise, whatever, the community, they all feel bad. But for me, it was like, it's another pickup, like, and it's not, I'm not some psycho, okay? Like, oh, I'll have to edit that out. Oh, no. Oh, I have to re-edit the sound every time I splatter a head near me. You have no idea how loud that is. Anyway, so it's not like I'm some psychopath, right? I have antisocial personality disorder. I have, and there it is again. I have what could be classified as sociopathy, so like a sociopath. We don't call it sociopath anymore. That has a lot of negative things. And especially, it's very common. Damn it, I keep doing it to myself. Sorry, future Orpheus. Let me put Mjolnir away. This thing is too overpowered. Do I still have my sickle? I do not. Do I still have anything? I have this. We'll wreck faces with this. But, so, it's not like I'm a serial killer or anything, or ever done anything violent, because I really haven't. Like, I've defended myself in some situations, as I'm sure most of you would, right? But I've never actually hurt anybody. But the thing is, it's so hard for me to feel anything about anybody. But I'll give you one exception. Animals. If I see an animal in pain, or, like my dog or something is sick or whatever like that, it's awful. It will stick with me for for years sometimes, right? And it's one of the only things in the world that will make me completely lose my mind and just break down, and I feel every single deep emotion and everything. And I guess that goes along with, being having sociopathy. You kind of have difficulty sometimes with feeling things for people, but there's often an attachment to children and to animals. So you feel compassion for children and animals. Oh boy, definitely not for these digital people. But is it something that bothers me? I don't know. I don't have frame of reference, right? But I think it would be, I don't know, really distracting, I guess, to, my mom was like this. Every news story she read, let's say there was an earthquake in Indonesia or something, she would see it on TV and, start tearing up. The average news broadcast, my mom would be completely oh, that's awful. Oh, that's terrible. Maybe a half a dozen times in, an hour-long news broadcast where she's, genuinely getting verklempt over this thing. Oh, my God, I'm all choked up about this. And then she would turn to me and say, don't you feel awful about this? And I'd have to go, yeah, I do, I guess. So, I don't know. Is that something you deal with? Do you feel like it's difficult for you to experience the same emotions? Do you feel that deep compassion for everything, or is it limited to something? Is it limited to your own family? Now, I will say this. The compassion I feel for my wife is way deeper than anything else that goes on. If something happens to her, obviously, she's my best friend. She's my companion. She's been with me. We've been together 17 some odd years. And so, of course, there's compassion for that. But that's apparently another thing with the sociopathy. You feel for close people sometimes. But they also say that it's impossible for someone who's a sociopath to experience true love. I take issue with that. Because what I feel for my wife is definitely love. It's definitely not I'm just glad someone's around or anything like that. It's, oh man, splatter again. It's definitely genuinely love, and I don't know. Anyway, that's my little ramble about that. I guess I wanted to just share that if you get diagnosed with something, or you know someone close to you that has been diagnosed with, what would be called sociopathy or antisocial personality disorder, don't immediately discount that person as a cold, unfeeling, serial-killing weirdo, okay? They're not. We are not. If you have something like this, or you find yourself having difficulty feeling compassion for people, you're not a serial killer, man. You're not someone who's dangerous. Normally, it takes someone who's messed up to begin with, encountering a messed up situation, and then having a bunch of things go wrong, either chemically or physically or whatever, that causes them to turn down that dark route. I know you're not like that. I know you're not like that, because people that are like that aren't going to be coming by to watch this sort of stuff for fun. They'll be looking for other stuff that's far more violent, and this isn't violence, folks. It's a video game, far more violent, far more disgusting, and far more dangerous to society. So, you know what? If you have some of those feelings where you're feeling a little bit less compassionate for things, number one, there's so much stuff out there that's horrible. It's all a blur sometimes. It's just noise, right? But number two, you're just like everybody else, man. We all have varied levels of that stuff. So, all right. We'll see you on the next one here on Orpheus Plays. I hope you do well. I hope you continue to do well. And you know what? Treat yourself well, because you absolutely deserve it. And if you feel something for anybody, make yourself your best friend and feel some emotions for yourself. Okay. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.